Hey guys, after doing walkthrough reviews of InvestEngine and Moneybox, I wanted to continue this series of reviews with a review of Chip, another finance app I use on a regular basis. Chip is still fairly new on the investing and savings fintechy scene. It really sprung onto the scene by providing the best easy access rate on the market at the time. And this is when I opened an account with them to get the best easy access rate on the market. And this was well over a year ago. And since then, Chip have really expanded their offering beyond just being an automatic savings app to also providing an investment offering by partnering with the likes of BlackRock and opening up alternative assets. So they now provide what I call the full house in having both saving and investment products on offer for their users, their customers, similar to other apps such as Plum and Moneybox. And given the platform is split into two parts in saving and investment, I'm going to use this to structure the video. Firstly, looking at the savings offering and looking at the features within that, then moving on to the investment offering and looking at the features within that, before moving on to account types, fees, and the pros and cons analysis. But before we do anything, before we get into the video, I need to say that Chip is an FCA regulated platform. They're regulated and authorized by the Financial Conduct Authority. If they weren't, I wouldn't be doing this video. And on that note, let's get straight into it and let's kick off by looking at their savings offering on here. So you'll be able to see their savings offering at the moment in terms of the products is made up of 4 different product types, 4 different savings accounts. And you'll be able to see their easy access savings account is the one I'm deposited in. It's a savings account with Alaka Bank and it currently offers a 1.1% interest rate as of today, as of the day of recording. They've also got something called a prize savings account. And this is essentially the same as premium bonds. Here there's over 10,000 worth of prizes each month. There's one grand prize of £10,000 where you can win. You're in it to win it essentially if you deposit. And then there's also 250 smaller prizes of £10. And how this works is every £10 you deposit gets you 1 entry to win. So it's essentially the same as premium bonds. But I haven't really seen other providers do this, so it's an interesting concept here. And this is quite new. This wasn't here last time I checked the app. There's also 2 other savings accounts you can see on screen. There's a 90 days notice account with Oak North Bank at 2.02%. And there's also a 0.30% account with Hampshire Trust Bank, which is currently unavailable as it's at capacity. So the account offering, the savings account offering is relatively good. It's not the best in class. There's other rates out there which top these. The easy access rate, best easy access rate going is better than this Alaka Bank. However, this is close enough for me. So overall, with Chip's savings proposition, you'll provide access to 4 different bank accounts. However, this is really only 50% of their savings proposition. Most people don't come to Chip, don't download Chip simply to access those 4 different accounts. They come for the magic, the other 50% of their savings proposition, which is their auto saving feature. This is the unique selling point of their savings proposition. And this is where Chip uses artificial intelligence, AI, to calculate an affordable amount that can be saved automatically and regularly without affecting your usual day-to-day spending. And it does this by analyzing your spending data with your connected bank account to establish how much you can afford to save, and then it places that amount into a savings account on your behalf. So this algorithm effectively auto saves based on what the AI believes is the right amount for you. And to enable this, all you've got to do is connect your main bank account to Chip. And if you use their fastest option to do this, it only takes around 60 seconds, where Chip will automatically link to your banking app, meaning you don't have to enter any of your online banking details, which saves a whole lot of time trying to look around in different cupboards, trying to find those details, or just trying to remember off your head, which I really struggle with. But once you've done this, once you've connected your main bank account, Chip will use your transaction history to identify the correct amount of money to be saved. And it does this every 4 days. So Chip auto saves money into your Chip account every 4 days once this is all set up. And if we take a look at the autosave feature a little bit deeper, we can see that Chip actually offers a number of neat features to tailor the autosave specific to you and what saving level you're happy with. So you can see at the top here that you can actually turn on and off the autosaving. You can choose with the AI save allocation where you want those funds to go. So for me, I have 2 options. Do I want those funds to go into a prize savings account or an easy access account? Then next we see the AI save level. And this is a really good tailoring feature where you can tailor the save level you want. So you can see at the bottom there, take your time, level 1, and it goes up to level 5. There's 5 levels, serious stuff, the highest autosave level, and you would go to a higher level if you wanted to save more and save faster. So there's different levels to tailor what level of saving you would like to do. So although the AI algorithm is always saying to Chip, we should save this amount for this person, you can tailor that a little bit. You can guide the algorithm, which is great. And you'll be able to see next that you can also skip autosaves, which is also good. You can skip autosaves for 2 weeks, you can select a custom date, you can skip it for 1 week. So this is great to ensure that you're always in control. And Chip's algorithm is actually advanced enough to decide that on some occasions there's not enough money in your account to save. So if you haven't got enough money in your account, Chip's algorithm will notice that, and in this case the autosave will not go ahead. So overall, this AI auto-saving feature is awesome, at least in my opinion. It's awesome to help those looking for a helping hand with their savings. And this really is their main unique selling point on the savings proposition side. It's the main feature on this side of the app. However, there are a couple of other savings features I want to take you through, as this wouldn't be a fully fledged review if I didn't. So the next savings feature is recurring saves. And here you choose the amount you want to save, when you want to save, and the account it goes into. So you're effectively setting up payments for the amount you want to save and when you want to save that amount. And this is more of a DIY approach, as you're in full control on the amount you want to save and when you want to save. And this differs quite a bit to the AI feature, as the AI auto-saving feature chooses how much you're going to save over that 4-day period. Of course, you have some tailoring functionality, but the overall goal of the auto-save feature is to choose how much you're going to save on your behalf. The next feature is Chip's overdraft saving feature. And here, Chip allows you to continue to contribute to your savings pot even if your current account is in the red, even if it's overdrawn. And if I click here, there's simple on-off functionality where you can turn on overdraft saves, and Chip will continue making saves for you even if you're overdrawn. And I'm not really a fan of this feature. In fact, I'm not a fan at all, as I don't understand a situation where getting into debt for the purpose of saving is warranted. It doesn't make any sense to me, because if you use your overdraft, you're into debt, and you're into debt for the purpose of saving. This doesn't make any sense, as it's likely that if you go into your overdraft, you're going to face overdraft fees, especially if you have an unarranged overdraft. For example, you may have a £10 a day overdrawn fee. And it's likely that the fee for going overdrawn will likely outweigh any interest you'll get for the money you're going overdrawn by. And that's not even mentioning what this could do to your credit score, as going overdrawn continually can impact your credit score. So I don't understand why this feature is here, as I see more negative consequences of a performance action than positive consequences. In fact, I see nearly all negative consequences, so I don't even think it should be an option. But let's not get away from the positives of Chip and the positives of their savings proposition, as this is the only feature I'm not keen on. And the next feature of the minimum bank balance feature, I'm very keen on for actually the exact reasons why I weren't keen on the overdraft saving feature. So with this minimum balance feature, you can set a minimum bank balance, and Chip will stop making saves for you when the bank balance is about to fall below this amount. So this effectively protects you from saving beyond your means. And this is why I didn't like the overdraft feature, because you're saving beyond your means. So I think having this feature alone, not having the overdraft feature, would be sufficient. But that's just my personal opinion, and Chip are the ones running this, they know much more than me, so I'm sure there's good reason for it. And on that note, that's all of Chip's key savings proposition functionality. The only other thing to bring up on the savings side is their goals functionality, and this is more of a platform feature, as it can apply to investment goals and savings goals. However, let's bring it up here, as Chip began as a savings app, and these goals began as savings goals. So if I click here, you're able to see you have goals you can set. You can create a goal, and you can set an amount. I've got an example house deposit goal here. You can set automatic save allocations, you can set target dates. So I love goal setting as a principle. It sets focus, it sets discipline, it gives you a target to track progress. So I think this is great, because it then holds you accountable to meeting those goals. So overall, Chip is a very comprehensive savings proposition. This is what the platform was built on, their savings proposition. They have good account types, and they have the features to back that up with the recurring saves and their unique selling point of the AI autosaves. The best way to sum it up is that Chip basically has all the features needed to help you save the way you want. It has the DIY approach, it has the robo investing approach. So now I've gone through the savings side of the app. let's take a look at the investing side of the app. With Chip, you can invest from as little as £1, and all you need to do to set up an investment account is have your national insurance number at hand and use it during the sign-up process. It's extremely simple, and that's one big advantage of Chip generally. It's extremely simple to use the app. It's extremely simple to set up savings accounts and investment accounts. So Chip's investment offering is split into two main investment vehicles. Firstly, funds, and secondly, alternative assets, both of which you can buy through Chip's app, of course. And let's kick off with funds. And it's worth pointing out first and foremost, there's two different investment accounts you can use to buy their funds. Firstly, a stocks and shares ISA account, and secondly, a general investment account, as you can see. And it's very important they offer the stocks and shares ISA account, as this allows you to get that tax-free wrapper. So let's take a look at fund by fund to see what's on offer. The first three funds here, the Cautious Fund, the Balanced Fund, the Adventurous Fund, are what I call DIY funds. They're just single funds for people who want to invest in one fund to suit their broad needs. So people investing in these funds will typically only invest in one fund. And these funds are on offer on most investment platforms, and the Cautious Fund typically has a high percentage of bonds as it's low risk. The Balanced Fund has a mixture of bonds and stocks, it's a mixture of high risk, low risk, and the Adventurous Fund has an overwhelming majority of stocks and shares, because stocks and shares are typically higher risk but acquire higher returns and therefore meet the adventurous criteria. And if I click on adventurous, for example, you can see fund performance, the unit price at the end of the last business day, 1 month change in pounds, 1 month change in percentage. This is very important to have both pound and percentage information. And you can also see a nice graph here where I can see how the fund performed over the last month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 year, and maximum, which goes all the way. It doesn't actually tell me the information actually. I'm trying to click on it here. So that's one feature which could be improved. They can make this graph interactive, where if you click on different elements, the graph gives you a specific date. But nonetheless, it's good information and gives you a high level overview. I'm sure they've got that feature in mind. If they haven't already, I hope someone's watching. If we go below here, we have the specific details of the fund name, the average annual returns over the last 5 years, the risk level, and the fund charge. And then you also have some projection information. So there's lots of nice information here. We continue, there's risks, and there's a key investor information document. So if we go back then and look at the next two funds, so those three funds were included in the standard Chip plan, and as are these two funds, the S&P 500 Tech Fund and the FTSE 100 Index Fund. These are very popular standard funds. Again, it's important that Chip offers these, as they're some of the most popular funds out there. So we just, for example, take a look at the S&P Tech Fund. We're able to see this fund is provided by iShares. iShares S&P 500 Information Technology Sector Fund. And what is interesting about the funds on offer is in the titles of the funds, they don't actually go through the details, the specific nitty-gritty iShares, S&P Information Technology. They try and make it clear. It's an S&P 500 Tech Fund. And I like how they try and remove this information gap between those who don't know too much about the investment specific terminology and those who do. So let's carry on, look at the next set of funds, and from now on all the funds on the screen will only be available to Chip X users. And you may be thinking, well, I see Cautious again, I see Balanced again. How are they different to the ones we just went through? And how they're different is these are active managed funds. So it's the same essence of the same purpose in terms of Cautious is invested more in low risk assets, Balanced is a mixture of low risk and high risk. However, the difference is those funds we just went through in terms of the Cautious, Standard Cautious and the Standard Balanced were passive managed funds. We carry on, we'll be able to see now there's more specialised funds on offer, such as the Ethical X Fund. We'll be able to see also that the Adventurous X Fund, so again active managed adventurous fund, Healthcare Innovation Fund, Clean Energy Fund, and again we'll click on this as this is again a big theme at the moment, and this is the iShares Global Clean Energy Fund, which is pretty much the leader for global clean energy ETFs. If you type in clean energy ETF, I'm sure on Google, this one will probably be the top result. We have an emerging markets fund, we have a crypto companies fund, we have a physical gold fund, and then we have a global companies fund. And I'm interested in what this global companies fund is. I assume it's some kind of global ETF. And if we go down, we can see it's iShares Core MSCI World ETF. So a very good and standard world global ETF. So overall, although it's only a small group of funds on offer through Chip's app, I'm quite impressed by their investment fund offering, because the funds are of high quality and they cover all the key themes for an average investor, what an average investor would want, and specifically a young person, as that's Chip's audience, young people. Covers all the key bases. And another thing I'm quite impressed with is how they educate their audience, their users, through little articles. You can see here, when I'm just looking through this list, there's little articles every 3 funds. For example, what is the crypto company's fund? And it gives you information about that. And I love when platforms educate their audiences. There's a huge financial education gap in the UK on investment, so if platforms can help out with that, that's awesome. I'm a big fan. So overall, the investment offering is good. And one thing I've got to point out is the features associated with this offering. And you'll be glad to know that you also benefit from the AI auto save, auto invest feature here too. It's not called auto save, it's called auto invest, but it's exactly the same. The functionality works in the same way on the investment side. So the platform, the AI, moves money into an investment fund of your choice automatically, so I don't need to explain it again, you get the gist. But it's great they also have this feature on the investment side. So the investment fund is the first vehicle, funds are the first vehicle on offer through Chip's app. The other type of investment vehicle on offer through Chip's app is something quite different. And you're able to see here, it's actually new. There's a little new sticker. It's called alternative assets. You can see here, you can invest in alternative assets such as fine wine and Ferraris, so retro cars. And you can also invest in art according to their website. And this is quite unique. It's a differentiator for Chip's platform, their app, because these assets are usually only accessible, usually only owned by the ultra wealthy who buy them at places like auctions and spend their millions, their hundreds of thousands on them. However, Chip have come up with a unique idea here. They've democratized the buying and ownership of these assets. And have done this through a model of share ownership. So you can own shares in these assets, these luxury assets like the wines, like the art, like the cars. Assets which have actually outperformed the general markets in recent years, believe it or not. And you're able to see here there's a couple on offer, fine wine, and I've just missed out on the Ferrari. The fund has closed. And I really do like this, as I said before, anything which democratizes ownership of any asset is great, because it gives access, improves accessibility to the normal person. And I'm actually going to try this out at some point. It's on my list to invest when I see the appropriate asset. They haven't got a huge amount of assets at the moment on here, so I hope they increase the number with fine art and other luxury items. But something to keep an eye on and something which may interest you. So that sums up overall the investing offering from Chip. They have funds on offer, mainly from BlackRock, and they have alternative assets. And it's the alternative assets which I see as the key differentiator. And we've only gone through the positives really of their investing offering. So let's go through some disadvantages. Some obvious disadvantages here is account types. They've got no LISA. They've got a stocks and shares ISA, they've got a general investment account for their funds, but they've got no LISA. So those who want to use the LISA vehicle to help them build towards a house deposit can't do it because they haven't got it. So there's one thing they can do. The other key negative, we sort of touched on it, is just the limited nature of their fund offering and the limited nature of their alternative assets. There's only one actually on offer at the moment because the Ferrari's just closed. So I think they can really beef up their offering a little bit more, both on the fund side and the alternative asset side, which I'm sure they're already looking at. So now I've taken a look at both sides of Chip's app, the savings and the investment side. The next theme to look at in this review is the account types on offer. Chip essentially offers 2 types of account: the standard Chip account and a Chip X account. It's the X account where you've got to essentially pay a little bit more, and we'll come on to that. And you'll be able to see here, there's not many differences. Essentially, if we start off with the Chip free account option, this is the default option when you sign up. This is the option I think as well most people will need who are watching this video, especially those on the savings side, because you get all the savings functionality with the free account option. This is the option I use. So you get access to all the accounts on offer and all the features on the savings side. However, it's on the investment side where the differentiators start to come in and where Chip X may be worthwhile. And this is because through Chip X, you get access to the complete set of Chip funds, whereas with the standard Chip account type, you only can access the 5 funds we went through earlier. Whereas with Chip X, you can access the full 15 funds. You can access all those specialized funds. So if you want to access those specialized funds and invest through Chip, then you'll need the Chip X account type. However, for the benefit of this additional access to the funds, there is some charges. And The primary fee is a £3 monthly account fee and it's charged every 28 days. However, for that £3, as I said before, you get access to those additional funds and you also get cheaper investment charges. As you can see, the investment charge is 0.25% for ChipX account members rather than 0.5% if you invest via the basic chip plan. And the difference in platform fees, platform percentage fees between the standard chip plan of 0.5% to the ChipX plan of 0.25% means that when your portfolio reaches a value of 1,200, from that point onwards, it becomes cheaper to use the ChipX plan compared to the standard chip plan. And this is because 0.25%, which is the difference between the two platform fees, times 1,200 equals £3, which is the cost of ChipX. So from that point onwards, it's worth going with ChipX if you want to invest through Chip. So if you're going to invest through Chip's app and specifically going to invest over 1,200, then the X plan is the one for you. However, for most people, and specifically those using the savings side of the platform, actually all of those using the savings features of the platform exclusively, then the free plan will do. The free plan is all you need, as you get all the savings features through that plan. You actually get access as well to those 5 investment funds too, although at a higher percentage platform fee. And it's worth pointing out that I'm not convinced actually of using Chip as a standalone investing app because they're not the cheapest platform around. Those fees are higher than other platform fees out there, such as Freetrade, Trading212, and InvestEngine. They all effectively offer cheaper ways to invest. And on that note, let's finish off with a quick fire pros and cons overview of Chip's app. And let's start off with the cons, as I want to finish on some good notes. So there's 4 cons of the app in my opinion. Firstly, the withdrawal timeline. There's a delay in the timeline when you request a withdrawal, and when you actually get it, it can take up to 2 days for withdrawal to arrive in your bank account. And this is a problem. It's quite annoying, to be honest, and I actually left the same comment with some other investing apps, investment platforms too, such as InvestEngine and Moneybox. I left the same comment for all of them, so it's a common problem in this space. Secondly, in terms of account types, they offer no LISA and no cash ISA. Third con is to do with their investment offering in terms of higher fees than other platforms and lower choice. I think I've gone through that enough, so I won't touch on that. And the last con, in my opinion, is a more of a general personal opinion related to the savings overdraft save feature. I don't think that should exist. I don't think you should be encouraging people to save using their overdraft. So they're the 4 main cons. Let's move on to the positives, as there's plenty of positives. First and foremost, it's so easy to set up. It's easy to set up investment and savings accounts through Chip's app. They make this super easy, and I love how they make it more accessible to people to invest and save because it's so easy to set up. Get out your phone, a few clicks, and you set up an investment or savings account. It's beautiful. The second key positive pro of Chip's app is their auto saving, auto investing functionality. This AI enables people to automate their saving and investing. And this takes away the hassle of knowing how much you can afford to save and invest. Now I love this again because it makes saving and investing accessible to people and encourages discipline, encourages them to meet their goals without them doing anything. It's great. The third pro is alternative assets. I see this as a really good, unique selling point in democratizing the ability to buy unique luxury assets. I love this feature and hope they add more assets to that list, as at the moment it was only wine, fine wine. So hopefully we'll see some more there, as I want to invest in some luxury assets and buy a few shares there. The next pro is access to popular funds. I think although there's not many, they're really high quality BlackRock funds. So I like that they offer them, and I like that they're partnered with them. And the last pro is that they have savings and investments under one house. So for those who want one app to do everything, then this is the savings and investment app which can do that. Just like Moneybox, just like Plum. However, there's some things they do better, some things they do worse. Maybe we'll do a comparison video at some point. But in summary of this video, overall, Chip offers an awesome solution for those who struggle with saving. They offer awesome AI technology which enables those who are not very good for saving to have an AI take care of it and save on their behalf an affordable amount. And it's also an awesome solution for those who want easy access to challenger bank savings accounts like me. I just want easy access to a good savings rate, good easy access savings rate, and Chip enables this through their really easy setup of their accounts and really easy management of those accounts. So it democratizes the ability to save. And Chip offers a great ability to save overall on both the AI and the DIY fronts. And I see Chip as a savings proposition app, and I would recommend specifically their savings features and savings part of the app, as I've had a great experience so far. However, as I've mentioned, I'm not convinced by their standalone investment offering, as there's cheaper and better investment platforms and apps out there. But let's finish on a positive. Chip is an awesome savings app, and I'm going to continue using it.